Well, just how unbreakable is this tactic? Let's jump in and find out. This one is called the Unbreakable 4-4-2 wall BORDALAS GETAFE. They're second in the league in their save, won the COPA del Rey, 98 goals scored, only getting a 76% win rate though, but still only losing 2. Looks like they're doing a fantastic job with Getafe. There is a video, definitely check it out, as I always say. In the description, there is a link to a Patreon post, so you have to pay to actually see it, but it is the tactical analysis for the tactic, as well as a real tactical analysis in there, so you can see, I guess, how closely the two match up. But we are taking a look at 4-4-2 today. It is with our 3 teams in a holiday sim, Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League, and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So with all that said, let's just dive in and see how it worked. Well, looking at our Premier League teams, it sadly didn't work all that well. Liverpool in 5th place in the Europa League still, 70 points, 79 goals. Aston Villa in 12th with 46 goals and 47 points. Yeah, something happened. Looking at Liverpool's domestic cup run, they're out in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals 0-2 to Arsenal, and they get past Ipswich Town 4-0 in the FA Cup third round. They get to the quarterfinals, losing to Leeds 1-2. And they can only get to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, losing out to Atletico Madrid. So all in all, definitely not the greatest of seasons. And wow, look at that green, only 3 there. That is impressive how low that is. Goals, 32 goals for Salah though is pretty nice. 22 for Nunez, assists 17 for Trent, Robertson with 14. Average rating of Salah only get a 7.23. Switching it up to Aston Villa now in their domestic cup run, out immediately in the Carabao Cup third round, 5-1 to Newcastle. But they get to the semifinals at least of the FA Cup, but losing out to Man City 0-2. But now they do get to the end of the Europa Conference League journey, getting to the final, unfortunately losing to Ajax 2-2 in penalties. So overall, yeah, I mean semifinals here, runners up there, but overall not the greatest. And yeah, squad-wise, only 1 in the green. I'm actually surprised there's at least 1, but 23 goals for Diaby, 11 for Zaniolo. We get to assists, we get 11 for Douglas Luiz, Zaniolo with 10, and average rating, the only one in the green is actually Philippe Coutinho. That is sad. Tomine comes in, but only a 6.98. Data for these two teams, I'm not going to expect too much. I mean, I'm actually seeing a little bit more attacking-wise than I would have expected. Defense is definitely down. Shutouts are always there, but 2.08 goals per game is pretty low for them. 1.08 conceded, 1.07 XG is better than I thought, but still a little higher than usual. And Aston Villa, wow, shot percentage is the only one that's touching the line of the Premier League average. Defensively, shutouts again, but that's it. 1.21 goals per game, 1.42 conceded, 1.48 XG against. Premier League stats, yep, time for this screen again. Liverpool in 5th with 1.84 points per game. That is one of the lowest we've seen from them. Aston Villa in 12th with 1.24. But the main area that we're looking for in the Premier League stats, most goals, Liverpool in 2nd with 79, tied with Manchester United. Fewest shots against in 6th for Liverpool, 343. Most dribbles made for Liverpool in 7th with 612. Most tackles won. Aston Villa do make the list with 1047. Liverpool won down with 910. And then most shots for Liverpool making it with 486. But now, a 4-4-2 is generally not the greatest tactic to use, in FM at least, for both a Liverpool and Aston Villa type of teams that are more attacking-sided. How's Ipswich going to fare in the championship with this? Well, sadly, not great at all. Mid-table, 68 points, 65 goals. Yeah, it didn't work for any of them. Domestic cups for Ipswich, we already saw them get dropped out of the FA Cup third round immediately to Liverpool. They get to the Carabao Cup third round, 1-1 in penalty loss to Everton. So yeah, this is definitely a season to forget. And with only 3 in the green, that's actually just a little bit below average, but still not great. 15 goals for George Hurst-Chaplin with 14, assists 11 for Wes Burns, Leif Davis only getting 7. Tom Heaton gets up there with 7.08 average rating, but 29 appearances, George Hurst gets a 7.02. And back here, Ipswich in 9th with 1.48 points per game in the championship stats. And then this will be nice and easy because the only place they're here is in 2nd place in tackles won with 1156. Nowhere else. So let's just dive into the tactic itself. We start out with a goalkeeper in defend, fullback in support on the left, fullback in support on the right, central defenders in defend in the central spots, wingers on both sides in support. Mark specific position is that DRDL. We got a ball-winning midfielder in defend next to a box-to-box in support, an advanced forward in attack up front next to a target forward in attack. Mark's specific position here is that DM. We got a balanced mentality in possession attacking with is fairly wide. Passing directness is much more direct. Tempo is higher. Time wasting sometimes. Floated crosses. Play for set pieces and be more disciplined. In transition, counter, distribute to the target and take long kicks. And out of possession, a mid-block line of engagement, a higher defensive line, trigger press more often, prevent your goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, trap outside, and invite crosses. But now overall, how did it do for our three teams? Absolutely horrendous. Now, that has nothing to do with the tactic itself and is simply because the tactic was made for a specific team with a specific set of players. It was for the coach himself. So this is not supposed to be for a Liverpool or Aston Villa to just plug and play and go straight in. You definitely need to gear your tactic to your players, or I should say your players to your tactic if this is the one you want to use. But try it with Getafe and see what actually happens. But here, yeah, none of these teams did a great job at all, unfortunately, but it wasn't expected to. So that is it for me, though. Sefian FM for the Football Manager blog channel saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.